Yo, what's going on, you guys? Today we're going to be doing a part 2 video to reacting to some comments. It seems like you guys enjoyed that, but in this particular case, I'm going to be pulling comments that I don't particularly agree with and apply them to the latest patch, because some of these apply in a more important way than some people may realize. So in this video, I'm basically going to be doubling down on values, re-explaining some of my points that may have gone over people's heads, and kind of explain why even after the patch, the community is still the problem, and maybe that even might be a separate video entirely. But I just wanted to give you guys a up-to-date viewpoint on the Sparking Zero community, my context as to what I'm saying, especially since the patch is current, and respond to some context while giving you guys some content. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get straight into it. Our first comment is from Omnipotent849. Appreciate the comment. He says, I get the part about missing inputs and lag online. I mean, I noticed that after the update, no matter how good somebody's connection looks, it's going to be delayed as hell because I've experienced that. People not wanting to box, though, that's not their problem, it's yours. It's not a fighting game and meant to be flashy and cinematic. I don't know why people are even playing Sparking Zero if they approach it with a Tekken mentality. Ultimates are there for a reason, same as abilities. What you said about fundamentals landing the first hit and whatnot is partially true, but this is a game about an anime where people tank whole ultimates or barrages without a scratch, so matchup will matter. For lag and input delay justified for cheese, just get good. I appreciate the comment, but I gotta definitely say I disagree with this one. It's a fighting game. You know, I don't know where that, I think that's like a common misconception amongst people in general. Just because a game isn't official FGC material, that doesn't mean that it's not a fighting game. Just because a game isn't legible to be at EVO or to be played in a competitive sense does not automatically mean that it's not a fighting game. If two people are going against each other, yes, it is in fact a fighting game. If you are punching each other with the ability of winning on one side, it is in fact a fight. So therefore, it is a fighting game. I understand that it's not competitive, but a game doesn't have to be competitive in order to enjoy it from both sides. I think this comment comes from a sense of not understanding the general point of what the video is about for the rant. It's not about controlling what people can do. It's not about taking the game so seriously that every time I lose, it's annoying. It's the way people play. It's the way the community goes out of its way to play and abuse mechanics that are unnecessary in order to see the win screen. That's what that was about. When I say that, you know, it's a problem for the way people are playing the game and that it's not enjoyable for both sides, this is in fact true, because a lot of the player base has dropped the game specifically because of the reason that every time they hop online, it's literally a copy and paste win screen mentality of playing the most obnoxious way in order to get there, which naturally people are going to get tired of and drop the game. The second you hit that online button, the second you hit ranked tournament, you enter a room, you do online, that's it. Your enjoyment is now subjective to how the other person is playing and or what they are doing. Now, this varies, of course, and I'm not saying the other player's responsibility or job is to make sure that you are having fun. That is delusional. What I am saying, though, is if you consistently hop online playing in a way that is generally unenjoyable, or I should say boring, or the less entertaining way possible for the other party, as long as you get to win screen when you do not have to specifically play that way to get the win screen, it ruins the online environment because of how common it becomes and lackluster it makes the game feel. Like I said, just put yourself in the shoes of the other person who's working at 9 to 5. They want to get online and play a random character they enjoy. But it's not so much of a skill issue. It's literally, I can possibly beat you, but if I do beat you, it's not enjoyable to do so because I have to play similar to what you were doing, or I'm losing consistently to what you're doing because it's not a straightforward way to win the game, and it ruins every and any aspect of the concept of neutral punishment and playing a game of chess. There's no chance in what you're doing, and it's boring to watch. That's basically the initial problem of what Sparking Zero has right now. But either way, I appreciate the comment. I just wanted to break that down again because that is still a misconception that some people have for the video and, you know, surrounding my mentality of the community. By no means do I want people to play the way I want. It's literally not that problem, but you know, when you make a rant video just talking about what you experience and you have over 2,000 people who go in the comments and say, yes, nigga, that's the problem, then 9 times out of 10, it's not delusion, it's probably a fact. So just, you know, think about that. Next up, we have Smokey9 091. He says, so instead of going to the main source of the problem, which is the devs that made the game, instead you make the choice of saying it's mainly the player's fault when the players are only using what the game gave them. All games have metas that people use because over time, what's worked the best will be used the most. You can never stop how people will play the game, but the devs for sure can prevent abuse mechanics by actually putting effort into combat stability. Literally, almost all of the cheese you guys are talking about was not possible or even as prevalent in Budokai Tenkaichi 3 because BT3 actually put more effort into balancing the game and provided much skill-based combat. This game dumbs everything down for you guys, and then you get mad when people abuse the only thing that is available to them. Okay, so I appreciate the comment. As always, agree or disagree. You guys already know I strongly disagree with 90% of what this statement is. The only thing that I do agree with is the part of the game being dumbed down for people and that BT3 didn't have as much cheese. I was never comping BT3. I was never that guy. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. Raging Blast 2 was the only game that was Dragon Ball that I took seriously on that level. So I have seen comp BT3 gameplay, and I do know it was a lot more balanced than we have now, but I have to heavily disagree with everything else that was definitely said here. So we'll start off with the top one. What I disagree with, you guys already know what I'm gonna say, is you guys gotta stop acting like people have a gun to your head and that it's the developer's fault for leaving it in the game and people are just gonna do it. It is a choice. And like I said in the last video, people getting on the game and acting like a developer is holding their parents at gunpoint to win these games based on what is available in the game by any means necessary is literally a mental crisis. If something is available in a game and I know it is cheese, it is my choice and my decision to play with it. There's a new patch. We go further beyond characters and we can talk about specific mechanics, right? They patched out the double sweep, the infinite sweep. Now people spin out after the second hit. There's already a guide out there teaching people how to negate the mechanic, because imagine if you actually learn neutral, right? It is my choice and decision to watch that video, consume the content, and then decide whether or not I want to now hop online and use this technique in order to get around what the developer has patched. That is a choice. Just because it works does not mean it should be done. Just because it's optimal does not mean it should be done. There's no reason why you have to hop online and use mechanics that were taken out because it works, because they left it, because it's in the option. When you are speaking in a manner that makes it sound like the developers just left everything in as is. The games get patched, and this is the last point I'll make before I move on to the next comment, and it is, these games get patched. Everybody's complaining about how unbalanced the game is, how unstable it is, how bad it is. They are actively patching the cheese and the things that we have talked about. And yet you will have content creators turn right around within 24 hours and find a way to do what they patched out of the game. So you cannot say it's the developer's problem at this point in time, because they are actively doing what they can to fix the mistake that they released the game in. It is the people's choice to up online and introduce what they want into the environment. It's an infinite cycle of the game is bad, developers fix game, and then people will go out of their way to cook the game for either view count, because, oh, somebody would have put the guide out there, or because naturally they want the game to fail. And unfortunately, again, like I said, Sparking Zero has all three. This isn't something that I think the developers are at fault of at this point in time. Now, if we haven't gotten a patch, I would have agreed with this. I would have said, you know, I agree with your comment 50-50, but the fact that they are actively within 3 months putting this many patches out and fixing a lot of the meta, a lot of the bullshit out of the game, and then you still have people going out of their way to actively go out of their way. Like, I can't stress to you how much go out of their way means. Spending hours in labs to do stuff that they actively took out of the game because I just need it. That's a community problem, bro. That's literally developers that's out of their hands. They can't do anything. And as I said, how many hours do you guys want them to sit there and lab these mechanics to guarantee that you cannot do? To make sure that you can't play that way. It's a waste of time. And that's exactly why Naruto Ultimate Ninja failed. Because like I said before, and I'll say it again, the developers tried to fix that game. The dorks sent them an email and told them to put it back. The dorks kept going out of their way to use the mechanics that they patched out of the game. Switch tech, jutsu spam, jutsu switch, jutsu buffer. They couldn't put it down. They said, yo, we don't want you to do that anymore. And they still found ways to do it. So why would I patch a game? Why would I give attention to a game that as the community, you complain about a mechanic and then turn right back around, beamed to put the mechanic back in the game that is hurting the game and the franchise as a whole? After 3 or 4 patches, brother, I'm done. That's just me looking at the developer side. If I patch a mechanic, and you guys are literally actively going out of your way to put the mechanic back in the game, and then you're going to complain and say the game is dead when you as the creator are spreading the mechanic, you're cooked. That's your fault. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on that one. I don't make this a whole rant video. Next up, we got Neon Void Storm. That's a pretty unique name. I've played tons of player match and ranked up to B5. Randoms on sparking and anime games in general have massive egos. This is true. The sad reality is that people value the W above fun. I was in a lobby in a group of people, items were on, I didn't like that. The 4 Vegeta, so I'm assuming he's saying Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, was winning, so I picked Kefla with the best equipments in the game. I won, then blah blah blah, you're trash, then blah. The sparking community is just sad. I know you're not lying because I've also ran into this problem before, so I'm very sorry that it did happen to you. It's commonplace. And that's another reason why the rant video was created. Like I said before, if it was just a ranked only problem, it wouldn't be a problem because ranked, you're supposed to win. So if player match was a space where you will see a variety, where people are chill, they're relaxed, you know, you're playing any character, then we're all cool, everybody's chill. But it's this egoism of I have to win no matter what game mode, no matter space you go to. And it's only amplified and worse when you're in player match because the expectation in player match is to relax, you have fun, it's enjoyment. It's the same thing as quick match. It's a casual match, right? That's what the setting usually implies. If it's not ranked, majority of casual people or people buying a video game in general, ranked is for sweat, casual is for relaxation. Player match typically is for relaxation, it's chill. It's not that serious because again, there's no stakes. You get no points, you lose no points. The only thing you typically get in the lobby is a streak number. If you care that much about your lobby streak, you know, that I guess that also is an ego problem because once you leave, the number's gone, so it shouldn't matter. But the fact of the matter is people do take these characters and they like to streak, and there's a lot of egos involved in player match and casual settings because this happens to me all the time. Even post-patch, I'll pick a character, I'll be streaking, I'll get kicked out of a room. Or they'll start going up the tier list the second they start seeing you streak. That happens. People will kick you out of rooms. They'll message you over characters. They'll try to be petty. You know, all these little things where it's like, bro, I'm just picking around different characters. I've never sat there in a lobby and just picked one character because I know I'll win. Like, I'm usually just bouncing around from character to character. So there definitely is a massive ego problem in Sparking Zero. It's why I prefer tournaments. It's why now I prefer quick match because you don't have to deal with the wait time. You don't have to deal with the petty comments. You don't have to deal with the egos and people removing you when it's your turn or if you're streaking. There's just none of that involved. So unfortunately, that is a thing. And again, as always, time to self-plug. If you guys are tired of the toxicity, you guys want to just enjoy a Sparking Zero community that's fun, it's enjoyable, there's no egotism, everybody's having a good time, my Discord is always available for you guys, and it's a very chill, safe space for casuals and, you know, good players as well. It's not just for casuals. If you're a good player and you just want to have fun without the BS, you can join the community as well. So next up on the comment list, we have... But that's pretty much the video. It's almost stretching into a 15-minute video. I don't want it to be too long, but if you guys would like another part, don't forget to hit the like button, sub, and comment down below if you agree and or disagree for more parts and continuations of this series. I might do a follow-up video talking about the community in general post-patch and, you know, what some of the problems may still be. I do see somewhat of an improvement in the community in different ways. I see a lot more positivity in different small spaces, and I think we need to come together and kind of bring that together as a whole, larger and smaller creators as a whole, and just, you know, kind of make this thing work. But that's something for another video entirely. I'll see you guys on that project. See you guys tomorrow for the next follow-up video, and you know, let's keep going with these daily uploads. I appreciate y'all's support as always, and I'll see you tomorrow.